Hello and welcome back to Good Critic, Bad Critic. We got our trio of Muppets here presently, and it's I, King Boomer, Captain Quintano, and Trevor Belmont, aka Craig. So this is Captain Quintano's pick for the week. This is Van Helsing from 2004, directed by Stephen Sommers, who also did the Mummy and the Mummy Returns, I believe.
Yes,
So
sir.
I knew I recognized the name.
He
There's a
likes
few
adventure
others he probably
films.
did. He sure does. This is also written by Stephen Sommers. The cast of this is the top billing of the cast anyway. Hugh Jackman, Kate Beckinsale, Richard Roxburgh, David Wenham. Sorry, David Wenham. Yeah, David Wenham. It's kind of like Denham Renham a little bit. Will Kemp, Kevin J. O'Connor, and Schuler Hensley. Cinematography by Alan DeVow. I don't know how to say that name. Edited by Bob Duskay and Kelly Matsumoto. Music by Alan Silvestri, which was interesting. I wouldn't have guessed it was Alan Silvestri.
Back
Not
to
in
the
a
Future,
million
right?
years. Yep, that's your boy.
Yeah, I mean he's good. He's good. He's got some really iconic ones out there.
He does. I'm not gonna. I wouldn't say this one is ranking up there.
I was not a fan of.
I like the
his score in this
soundtrack.
one.
You didn't like this? You didn't like his score?
I didn't hate it, but there was just I wouldn't recommend if you played something to me now after recently watching it. I don't think I'd cotton on that it was that.
That's exactly what you just said, Craig. Yes, I feel the exact same way. Distributed by Universal Pictures. The release date was May 7th, 2004, and the running time was 131 minutes. Budget was 160 to 170 million. I love how they never get it right. That is a big budget. And the box office was 300.2 million. So it did get a return. And
it wasn't a fantastic one, but
but I bet they got a lot of DVD sales. I never looked those up, but I'm guessing that they had a lot of DVD sales on that because this was like at the height of like DVD.
Early 2000.
Yeah, so I'm sure they made most of their money from DVD sales, probably. But Captain Quintano, since this is your pick, why don't you give us a quick minute or two synopsis on what the plot is of this movie?
Cool beans, dude. So you have Van Helsing in this world. We are back in time. Van Helsing, if you don't know the lore of him, he works for the Vatican to destroy the bad guys. He works for the Catholic Church. He is here to go out and rid the world of evil. Mr. Van Helsing showed up on the doorstep of the Vatican or some church and basically just had no knowledge of who he was as a person. And the church took him in and they put him to work. Started slaying all the baddies. You can kind of tell he's got some mystical things about him. The only memories that he has is from fighting in ancient wars. And, Van Helsing doesn't look like he's hundreds of years old. He looks like, strapping Hugh Jackman, strapping Australian Hugh Jackman. So he is then tasked by the Vatican after, his nice little run-in with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde to hunt down Dracula, the ultimate baddie. By killing Dracula, you will get rid of all other vampires that have ever existed. He is the final boss in this video game of a movie. So Van Helsing then starts his quest, travels to Transylvania, and with the help of Kate Blanchett, and God bless her heart, still don't understand Pete Davidson.
You mean Kate Beckinsale?
Kate Beckinsale.
No, that was
okay.
Jack Whitehall.
Hey, I'm a big Kate Blanchett fan, but I was like, she's
great.
I don't think she's in this.
Kate Blanchett.
Kate Blanchett is the White Witch. My apologies. But her and Formair and Mr. Hugh Jackman go on their journey to track down Van Helsing and save the day, save the world.
With a bit of Frankenstein's monster in there. trying to think.
Frankenstein's monster, who's
Adam.
very fun. I like him in this movie. I thought he was very fun. But this is one of my favorite Draculas of all time. I dig this Dracula.
I thought it's interesting because it's one of those movies that like combines different famous monster.
Yeah.
I guess novels. Because it's basically Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman.
The Wolfman.
And all combined into one story, but make it more of like a action adventure film
as well.
100%.
Yeah.
They should have just stuck with doing one film with all of them in. They might have actually.
It probably would have been a better overall film had they just done that. I felt they could have left out Frankenstein, even though I enjoy his character a lot. There's some points in this movie where it feels like they're clumping too much into it.
Actually, Frankenstein was probably, other than him and the what was the name of the sidekick?
For
Hugh Jackman. For
Van
Helsing.
Cal.
Yeah, him and Frankenstein were my two favorites.
Hey, he was awesome. Cal was fantastic. I like I said, I love Frankenstein, but Cal's what do they call that? Comedic relief at certain parts is just top tier. He's so funny, dude. And I like Igor a lot. Igor had some funny points too. Why are you torturing that beast so? It is what I do.
This film is as campy as all hell, man. It really is. That's one thing it's got going for it. At least it knows what it is. It is ridiculously campy, and they play into it. Yeah. Every now and again, I'm thinking, have these actors forgotten which film they're on? It's not that serious.
There's a certain scene. Well, no, I like Dracula. I felt like he took his role, I felt like, very seriously. Like, there's certain scenes where he's given it all. I kind of felt like I was watching a Broadway play when I would see him perform in certain scenes. And I mean that in a good way.
Yeah. No, absolutely. He is hamming it up to the max. He is absolutely chewing the fucking scenery on this one.
I have no love. I have no heart.
There's one scene in there where I just started that because I didn't, even though his performance is over the top, like I didn't totally like dislike it or anything.
Oh, I love
it. But there's an aspect of his character. Like there's one scene where like somebody, I forget which character, starts screaming, but then he's like screaming for like 10 seconds, and then you just see Dracula like
dancing. Yeah, it was when the brother was on the table getting electrocuted. Dracula just dancing with himself.
Yeah,
he's such a character, man.
Yeah,
he's the best thing in this film, hands down. He really gave it. He really gave it socks on this one.
I didn't mind watching Kate flip around.
Oh no, I don't think anyone will.
Yeah.
Regardless of your proclivities,
they actually had her. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say watching this made me just want to watch her in
Underworld.
Underworld, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you see more, and her character's not annoying.
Yeah, like this movie, one is. You're just like, shut up, sit down, let Van Helsing do his thing.
Yeah. But no, definitely, she's if she's in anything, she's wonderful to look at. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Sort of the same, but for me, it was the Netflix show Castlevania, hence my name. I was just thinking, wouldn't mind seeing a Belmont in this, as well as Van Helsing.
I've never seen the show. Is it any good?
I could not recommend it enough. If you've got any you don't have to be a fan of the game, but if you've got any sort of interest in that, put it this way: because of that show, a question came up on QI, where it was like, where did Vlad the Impaler rule? Basically, I can't remember the exact question, but it was Wallachia, and I knew North Transylvania was Wallachia, and I knew that, and that was the answer, and I was like, oh my god, I learned that from a fucking cartoon. So there you go. But it is fantastic. It's gory as all hell, very sweary, absolutely aimed at adults, and it's so funny at times. Like, it's not a comedy, but there's so much humor in it. I love it. I unabashedly love it. It's fantastic.
Okay. So yeah, Alan Silvestri. I was like, I saw his name in the credits after I watched it for the music, and I was like, really? I was like, because I can't, I couldn't remember like humming one tune. Quentin, no, we cannot hear you. He's gonna have to fix his mic. But yeah, I saw Alan Silvestri in the titles, and I was like, nah, that was one of the Alan Silvestri ones where like you won't remember it.
No, I did not. I didn't even click on that. The little discussion we had before we start recording, I was like, was it?
Yeah.
Alan Silvestri was getting a paycheck when he took this.
Say something, Quentin.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Yes, we got you.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Lovely.
back. Anyway, sorry.
We were talking about Mel Gibson.
I thought we were talking about syphilis, but all right. That's what Igor had in this movie.
Oh god,
He had a hefty case of the syphilis.
he had a hefty case of everything, man. That dude was in rough shape.
What actor played him in this?
Played who?
Igor.
Because my cousin Robert.
Oh, Kevin J. O'Connor, right? That's that was Dracula's like fucking weird assistant guy, right?
Yeah.
It was
It's the same guy from The Mummy.
Benny, that's right. That's
yes.
right, Benny. So my cousin Robert, he had just recently watched through Van Helsing. He goes, "Yo, I'm pretty sure that's Benny." And I was like, "There's no fucking way." And it was a baffling moment for me because I never put 2 and 2 together. That's hysterical.
Until you just said it, no.
Really? You guys were stumped on that?
Mm-hmm.
I thought of it immediately, one because of his voice, and two because it's basically a copy and paste of
The Mummy.
Of Benny's character.
He's done The Mummy. He thought, what else could I do? Fuck it, let's just do them all in one go. I've done The Mummy, but let's just get them all in.
Yeah. Have you guys ever looked into? Have you guys ever read any of those, like Frankenstein or
No?
The Mary actually read them.
Bram Stoker's. Is it Bram Stoker or
Stoker? Bram Stoker.
Okay.
Stoker. Yeah.
I haven't read that, but I have read Frankenstein, but that's the only one of the three.
I know that Dracula. It's written in sort of like diary entries.
Dracula is right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that.
So like on I'm assuming you've seen the Gary Oldman 92 film.
I actually have not, but I want
Neither have I.
See it at some point. Yeah.
Whoa.
That's didn't Francis Ford Coppola direct that?
Francis Ford Coppola, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those like movies that everyone talks. It's probably because I'm not like into the supernatural stuff, so I haven't seen that or Interview with a Vampire.
Do you know what? I am more shocked that you haven't seen that than when you told me you hadn't seen Die Hard, and that is saying something. I would have put money on you seeing that.
Interview with
I'd like to see it. Either or, but I mainly want to see the Dracula one because of Gary Oldman.
Does Gary Oldman play Dracula?
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
If you ever saw The Simpsons where Mr. Burns is, I think it must be a Tree House of Horrors, where Mr. Burns is playing Dracula and he's got like the red cape on. Cape
is it Gary Oldman's voice?
No, it was Mr. Burns, but he's got like bald head, but he's got like hair like sort of bunned up and back. That's just ripping off of the 92 one, the Francis Ford Coppola one. But yeah, in that you have Keanu Reeves in the worst British accent since Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins.
Is this the one that? So this is the one that Keanu Reeves had that terrible accent that everybody talked about.
Well, yes, I was here with my fiance, and she went to go see Lucy. Oh my god! Fucking hell.
I'm gonna have to look that
Listen,
up.
if you're gonna do it, you need to do it proper,
Yeah.
like Michael Caine.
Like Michael Caine.
Can you imagine Keanu Reeves doing a Michael Caine impression? That I would pay. Not worth bringing up, but God, I would pay good money to see that. That would be fucking hilarious.
Keanu Reeves. I know somebody that used to do a good Keanu Reeves impression. It was like,
whoa.
Dude, he said he had to take the blood from my neck. I don't know. It's kind of like that. Like
I'm waiting for
surfer
Constantine
Keanu
2,
Reeves.
man, from Keanu. It's like Constantine 2. Supposedly it's in the works now. They have a script, but
they have been talking about that for years. But Keanu Reeves said from the get go he'd always be up for Constantine 2.
Yeah,
and that film's my favorite depiction of hell.
it's so sick.
The fact that it's this world, but like under a veil, and it's just burning. It was California 3 weeks ago, basically.
Jesus, you're not wrong.
See, this is why I'm telling the truth when I'm not into the supernatural, because I haven't seen that either.
Constantine?
I would find that way more easy to believe. The fact that it was Gary Oldman, Francis Ford Coppola, like the rest of the
that's tempting. That's very tempting. Yes, that 2 reasons why I would love to watch it. But the supernatural stuff kind of keeps me away.
Interesting. Is it just too unreal for you to like kind of get into?
Yeah, I'm not. It's like that and like horror stuff. It's never been my thing.
Yeah,
but I've ventured into it, like with my reaction channel, particularly on Patreon. I've ventured into it a couple times, and I've been pleasantly surprised with Dog Soldiers. I like that.
Was that a horror?
Yeah.
That was a metal movie, dude. That was. I think Quentin would really like that. Actually,
I'd check it out.
Because I know you're into horror.
I love my horror movies.
There was also I finally watched 28 Days Later.
I still haven't seen that. I just am excited for the next one.
28 years.
Well, there's 28 Days Later, and then there's 28 weeks later that had Idris Elba and what's his face?
Robert Carlyle.
Carlyle.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Big beat.
I know that the first one has such high praises, and that it wasn't available to even watch on any streaming service for like the past 10-something years or so. But with the release of the new one coming out, they somehow got their hands back on it or something.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because I think we had problems trying to find it. Or at least I did. I think, Craig, I even asked you for help with that. I was like, do you guys in the UK get access to this movie? Because I can't find it anywhere.
What did you think of the movie? Is it worth a watch?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay, dope.
Cillian Murphy, Brendan Gleeson, Christopher Eccleston.
Great cast.
It really does. The supporting,
which is weird to get into a horror movie. Typically, your superstars.
Dude, it's Danny Boyle.
Cillian Murphy. Oh, Danny Boyle.
Danny Boyle's directing it.
So yeah.
People, they were just going, yes, we'll work on this Danny Boyle film. What's it, Signer? What's it about? People, you're just going to work for.
What's
Danny
it
Boyle.
about? Yes. It's Danny Boyle. Just relax.
Yeah, you've in good hands. You're in good bloody hands with Danny Boyle.
Oh, Danny Boyle did 127 hours. How interesting.
He did Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh, I forgot he did that one. Damn, I watched that in the movie theater when it came out.
It's like the only
That's a good movie, but it's like one of those movies you can only, at least in my opinion, you can only really watch it once.
Yeah.
Because once you have a story like that, you know exactly how it goes down, and it's hard to watch a movie on repeat where it's mostly just one guy getting stuck in a cave for a fucking hour and a half.
There's a really good one. Probably, I think, Daniel Radcliffe's best movie that he's ever done. But he gets lost in the Amazon forest. But it's based off a true story of this guy. The movie is gross. It's fucked up. But think of 127 hours, but you're stuck in the jungle, just fighting for your life. The movie is terrifying. But Daniel Radcliffe's best performance.
Heard of that.
I'll have to find the name and send it to you because it's worth a watch.
I know he's in the film Horns, and he was in that Swiss Army Man, where he plays a dead body that keeps farting.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's so crazy. The movie is literally
what is
called
this?
Jungle. Go ahead.
It's called Swiss Army Man. I've not seen it. Apparently, it's actually quite good. But
Daniel
someone finds a
Radcliffe
dead
is just
body.
a dead body who's farting?
Yeah, but someone finds him. It's not just Daniel Radcliffe pretending to be dead farting for 2 hours. No, someone finds a dead body, but then they think the person who finds it thinks he's
This is the guy who fucking plays what's his name?
Harry Potter.
The Riddler in the newest Batman. What's his name?
Oh, Paul Dano.
Yes, he's fantastic.
Paul Dano. There will be blood.
Dude, Paul Dano is. I have a very high opinion of Paul Dano. He's amazing in everything he does, and he doesn't look like he should be a top actor.
Facts. He looks weird, dude.
He looks like Michael Cera's cousin.
He looks like he looks like your stereotypical guy who just got beat up by everybody in high school.
I was gonna go a different route. I was gonna say he's the angry kid who shows up to the high school, but after years of bullying, that's what he looks like.
No,
can I say that? Is this good?
You
didn't push it too far, so you're good.
Well, it looks like they pushed him too far because he showed up.
Oh my God, Craig! He said the English one.
Yeah, not the American
They don't
one.
strap up. That killed me. Holy shit!
He came in.
That killed me.
He came in with a note from his mum.
That's insane.
He's like, note for your
That
mum.
killed me. Oh my God. The fucking Craig. That was gold. That was gold.
High-powered assault rifle or a note from your mum.
Oh.
Difference between America.
Oh my God. That
UK.
was, dude. The fucking timing on that. Oh my God. He just off the cuff, just English, by the way. He's English.
I got my favorite movie.
Just to quell what Quintana was indicating to there. I was like, okay, let's just divert from that.
You gotta ride that train a little bit.
That was crazy. All right. Do you guys want to?
We could jump in. We got a little synopsis. I hope I did a decent job at that. And then
shit. That's how a quick synopsis should be, like 1 or 2 minutes.
Cool.
Yeah. Well,
but we can talk about either some characters or some scenes in a little bit. Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah, just saying to start off, it's Frankenstein's laboratory.
Black and white.
Yeah, it's
the opening scene. Yeah,
absolutely harkening back to the 1930s, I think, Frankenstein film. It's alive, that whole thing. Dracula just turns up and something that I thought was really weird. Dracula, it's just you. Or no, he says Count, it's just you. I thought bit of shade there, but it just showed setting up that he's going to be quite Frankenstein's monster, Adam. In the book, he's called Adam. There you go. You learned something today.
I did not know that.
Yeah, in the book, he's called Adam, named after Adam and Eve, the first man.
Yeah, he's right. That's a good dude. When I brought up the Frankenstein, like which books you guys have read of the three, I've only read Frankenstein, and that was awesome.
It was worth it though. You had a great time.
It's of, I was gonna say of the three, but I haven't read the other two. But it makes me Frankenstein was so good to me reading it that I kind of want to read the other two now and see how.
What is it?
They don't always translate well.
The Bride of Frankenstein and what else?
What?
The Bride of
Frankenstein? About the 3 books.
Yeah, Wolfman.
Dracula.
Bram Stoker's Dracula, and then Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Heard that. Yeah, I'm not a huge reader, but
here's a random QI fact for you. I won't try and tangent too much. Let's get into this. Apparently, it was a rainstorm. Mary Shelley was with staying with Lord Byron. If you've heard the name, he was a sort of history-renowned ladies' man and poet.
He was a crazy person.
It's
the best way to describe him.
The dude was very interesting.
A patriotic crazy person, though.
Love that.
And they're to entertain themselves, and they decided to tell ghost stories. So she, sort of like off the cuff, just
Improvised all this.
Improvised the sort of the genesis of Frankenstein, and then she went and wrote it. So just basically entertaining each other by telling ghost stories. And she went and wrote it, and then that turned into fucking Frankenstein, which is, whatever you want to say, if you have or haven't read it or haven't seen the film, everyone you cannot say Frankenstein to anyone really in the Western world and not have they can't.
You know exactly what they're talking about.
100%.
Yeah, they know. Well, I know what that means. I've never seen it. Never. Don't have to interact with it. You know what it means.
Same thing with Dracula.
Yeah.
For God's sakes, Dracula, Frankenstein, they even have their own cereal here in the U.S. Frankenberries. We got Count Chocula.
Oh, yeah. Last thing before we
Frankenberry.
get back into the opening scene here, but there's a Frankenstein movie out there, and I watched it like 20 years ago. It was on one of those like movie channels, and I didn't even know it existed until I saw it. Haven't heard from it since. Haven't heard anybody mention it since. But there is a Frankenstein movie that I think was made by Kenneth Branagh, and it stars Robert De Niro as Frankenstein.
Are you joking?
I can't believe you haven't seen it if it starred as Robert De Niro.
Well, no, Robert De Niro is like that guy. If you look at it,
1994.
Yeah.
Wow, Tim Burton's wife is in it.
Oh yeah, she is.
Helena
Bonham Carter.
They're separated. They're separated.
They are separated. No shit.
Yeah, there's no more Helena Bonham Carter, Johnny Depp, and Tim Burton films, I'm afraid.
No, that's
Doesn't sound
really
like
unfortunate.
But I remember
we'll
watching
with
this.
the 50 that we've already got. We've only got 50 of them to watch. Oh, how will we manage?
There's no shortage of those. But I remember every time I was watching Frankenstein in this Van Helsing movie, I was immediately thinking like, man, I really got to go back and check out that Frankenstein with Robert De Niro, because I remember it being
I just can't picture it.
Dude, I remember it being like fucking kind of scary. Like,
really?
Yeah. Have you ever gone through like the whole beginning to end story of Frankenstein?
No, I know pretty much what Van Helsing has taught me about Frankenstein. You got to think. So, like, I was born in '98. Frankenstein, the earliest I was introduced was like Halloween stuff, just knowing of Frankenstein. But then Van Helsing came out in 2004, and I loved the movie growing up.
Okay. So
that was like my introduction.
So think of it, because I think you'll like this premise, Quentin, because the book is basically like this Victor Frankenstein. He creates this
Frankenstein's monster.
This monster, yes, but he's really trying to create another person, but it's so grotesque that everybody basically rejects this thing, and he basically rejects this creature as well. But the creature, because it has human feelings, he's like, oh well, you're just gonna walk away. This is it's time for revenge. So he doesn't kill his creator. He kills everyone else around him.
Oh my god!
Just to fuck with him.
So Frankenstein really is a horror.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I never
viewed it as that.
Frankenstein is actually
movie.
No, Frankenstein. The book is actually very, very dark.
Oh,
it is some really dark stuff in that movie, and then there's changes in the characters too. But anyway, just trying to sell it in case you ever want to get your hands on a copy.
I would absolutely. I just can't picture Robert De Niro as Frankenstein. Yo, fuck you, Victor. I'm gonna kill you and your entire family.
Dude, I remember it being scary, and the makeup that he has. I remember it being kind of scary and being like, "Holy shit!"
I just saw a picture of it. He looked like a fucked up Two-Face.
Kind of, yeah. Actually, I'm curious now because I kind of want to look at it.
Or like an ex-mob boss.
Robert De Niro Frankenstein.
Robert De Niro looking like a mob boss.
No, he looks like Penguin from the new Penguin show.
Oh, no, look at this. Hold on. So I'm going to pull this up real quick.
You can pull it up right there.
Look at this.
Yeah, bro, he looks like the Penguin from the new HBO show. That's insane.
No, I think I've seen that picture. I would have never in a million years gone, okay, that's Frankenstein's monster.
That's insane. Yeah, this looks like actually gruesome.
Yeah, he looks scary, man.
Does it take place in the proper time era, or?
I think it does.
Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen Robert De Niro in like two different of roles. I'm kind of surprised that he took that.
No, the thing about Robert De Niro is you will see, like, if you go through his filmography, you'll see, like, every year there's, like, 5 or 6 roles and, like, 2 or 3 of them you've never heard of.
Interesting.
Because he's one of those actors where, like, he's constantly working. He doesn't care if he takes, like, a big, top billing thing or if it's, like, a small, obscure movie.
He did Meet the Fockers.
One of those. Yeah. But that made a lot of money.
Did.
But, like,
enough for, like, 10 sequels.
It's like Craig. A good example is one of your favorites, Stardust, where he ends up in that. Robert De Niro.
One of my favorites. Right, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I thought you said meant one of my favorites from Stardust. I thought, well, he's in Stardust. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just think that film's just got so much charm. It's it's like a fantasy cyber steampunk-ish
Blade Runner like type of movie.
No. British countryside. So
Okay.
instead of like neon lights and whatever,
it's like a PG version of like a action adventure type movie.
Interesting.
It feels like a Disney movie that's not Disney.
Yeah.
Speaking
of which, Paddington 3 is coming out for you, Craig. I saw the trailer recently.
No, it came out in November.
It's already out?
Yeah, it came out in November.
Oh, cool.
Different writers.
Paddington 3? It wasn't good?
Yeah. It wasn't bad. It's just the first two, you can tell they're the same writers. The charms there, unequivocally, you can tell it's the same two charms there. But yeah, I mean, King Boomer put it out on Christmas Day. He said when he watched the first one, it feels very Christmassy, like a Christmas film. And God damn it, you stuck to your guns there, mate. Released it on Christmas Day.
Enjoyed it.
I think, if memory serves, I did actually watch it on Christmas Day evening.
Yeah.
Although, do you know what? I'm going to watch you watch this. I want to see if you cry at the end. Or
I'd probably cry. I'm an easy crier with movies, dude. I cry listening to music on my way to work, bro.
I will, proper. I will shed a tear if I think I've said before on this.
Sorry, I know I got us all sidetracked here. My apologies.
No, but yeah, if I watch Schindler's List, if I'm drinking red wine, that's it. I'm a mess. if I'm a bit drunk on red wine,
you're a middle-aged wife with that sentence right there, Craig.
Do you know what I am? I bloody am, and I don't care. That film destroys me, but yeah. But at the end of it, Brian does go.
Love that.
At the very end scene, it's an absolute tearjerker end scene.
I gotta check it out, man.
It's so charming. On paper, nothing of it should work.
It creeped me out when I saw the trailer all those years ago for it. I was like, I don't know about this, but I'll give it a try one day.
You just vouch for that, Brian. Just the charm wins you over.
No, yeah. No, I like both.
Good.
Like the first one a little better, I think, but I don't know. They're both good.
You did say you liked the second one a little better.
Back to the vampires, werewolves, and
so let's jump
vampire babies.
Paddington back in Van Helsing.
Van Helsing.
Gothic horror action. Let's go.
Yeah, I think my favorite scene of this was the opening scene with the black and white and just the style of it. I think that was the scene for me. After that,
I think the first 30 to 40 minutes of the film are my favorite. I'll say that.
Okay.
I'll say that for sure. I feel like
I agree with you in that.
It gets really rushed towards the end. I think I loved this movie so much as a kid, and I still love this movie. I have a lot of love for it because I hold that nostalgic value with it. But it's that fast-paced adventure shit, just like The Mummy. I mean, it's literally the same director, so it fed to my brain what I wanted to see as a kid. You know, the guy gets the girl. There's some fun action. You get some monsters in there. You get the epic brawling between the monsters, which is my favorite part of the movie. Personally, but
you get comic relief that's in there. You get all the set pieces like the horse carriage chase with the female vampires. Yeah, dude, it's a romp. It is a bit of. It's not a great romp at all, but it's a romp. It's enjoyable. Like I said, this film's saving grace is that it knows it's campy. It knows what it is, and
it knows the Muppet Reader.
The guy playing Dracula, he hams it up so brilliantly, but it looks like he's having the time of his life playing this character, and doing all the doing.
I think he was the only one.
It
seems like he was the only one who was enjoying his fucking time on camera.
Beckinsale was like, when the fuck are they going to start recording Underworld?
Yeah.
Get me out of this.
Well, I think the first one had already come out by then. She was like, when are we getting 2? When are we getting Underworld 2?
Even Stephen Summers, he actually didn't want to reach out to her because he felt like it was going to be too similar to her role in Underworld 1. But
where vampires fight werewolves?
Literally, yeah.
No shit. Really?
So what ends up happening is her agent reached out to him and said, just send us the script. And then she wanted to do it. Probably because it was a good high-paying job. The budget was fucking pretty fat for its time.
Oh, God, yeah.
She gets to kiss Hugh Jackman,
Yeah, okay, I'll put this out there.
Talk about two beautiful people coming together.
Like, who won the lottery on that one? I think there could be arguments made for straight people on both sides.
Yeah.
100%.
And then you got Dracula's girls, too.
Yeah.
Brides.
Oh, yeah. Even though their acting is pretty fucking...
It's bad.
Oh, my God.
Dude, it's bad. Dude, I'll tell you what, though. At least with the redhead, I don't care.
Yeah, the redhead.
She was looking good. But her acting was atrocious.
Growing up, I was a fan of the dark hair, the long dark-haired one.
Dude,
okay, you can't go wrong with any of the three. It's just that
there's two specific reasons that you thought she was okay. Because, goddamn, that's the only thing you can see on screen. Her eyes, of course, lovely eyes.
Yeah, great eyes.
She actually did have
and the reason was wonderful smile.
Yes, wonderful smile. Another atrocious acting. The brother. Every time he is on screen,
Valken, is it?
Valken, yeah, Valken. Every time he was on screen, I was like, "Damn, dude!" Like I thought his acting was beyond poor. I really do love the werewolf transformations in these movies. I told you guys this on last week's podcast, but there's it's probably my favorite werewolf transformation ever is Van Helsing's at the end of this. I just think it's so sick. When they were ripping off the skin, they're not growing fur and turning into a werewolf. They're showing the beast that is inside of their flesh. It's a whole different shit. So they're fucking tearing off their skin, climbing up walls in distorted ways, and I don't know, dude.
He was exorcisting up the wall.
Yeah,
that was
had a nice little horror element to it. I felt.
It is, but I said it last week. I'll say it again. Brian's saying it. American Werewolf in London. Jesus Christ, that thing is just that scene alone is a masterpiece.
Is that the one where he's in the court? Is that the one where he's on trial and then he's in the courtroom? Because I really like that werewolf movie.
No, this transformation.
You're talking about Wolfman from like when Benicio del Toro played him?
Hold on.
Wolfman 2010. This might be what I'm thinking of.
No,
Yes, Wolfman 2010.
Now, American Werewolf in London is from '82. It was a John Landis film.
Okay.
It's a couple of Americans come to England. They get attacked by a werewolf. One of them dies, and the one that lives is then haunted by his friends, telling him that he has to kill himself before the first moon because he's going to become a werewolf. So it is actually a sort of horror comedy, but the first transformation when it happens, it is incredible. Just to watch it even this day, because it's physical. It looks ungodly.
It looks like it's you'd rather die than go through that.
It looks like hell on earth going through it.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about the CG in this film?
Fucking PlayStation 2 is what I thought of this.
Really?
This looked like I thought.
Were there any scenes where you felt like, oh, that was actually pretty good for its time? None.
No. I thought I've.
You know, I kind of liked Hugh Jackman's werewolf not transformation, but when he was finally in the thing where it was the all black wolf. I thought that was kind of cool.
Massive.
Yeah, but I was watching this going like, man, this CGI hasn't aged well. Because I remember watching this like close to when it came out and thinking like it was not bad.
Yeah.
But then when I watched around now, I'm like, oof.
There was one transition that I paused in this movie because I thought it was fucking flawless. And the overall scene, I'm actually not a fan of because it's literally straight out of a video game, kind of like Craig said. But when they're finding the antidote for Van Helsing, and they're in that room, the sexy redhead vampire is holding up Kate by her neck. And there's a transition where she's human, and then in an instant, she is just in the same shot, she turns into her full vampire form. And I'll play the scene for you guys after we get off of this, or maybe you could find it on YouTube. But this one shot I thought was just flawless. Just in that like 2-3 seconds of her going from human into vampire was crazy.
Didn't jump out at me, so
yeah.
Another bit. I know
I'd have to go back and watch it.
I rewinded it, but if it didn't catch you, it didn't catch you.
No, it didn't. The one that stuck out to me the most was the horse carriage chase, and then the werewolf rocks up onto the carriage where they've got Frankenstein's monster, and he jumps on top of the flame. At this point, the carriage is flaming. He jumps up on top of it.
Oh, when the werewolf is on top?
The werewolf's on top, jumps on top of the fire, and I thought, what the PS2 is this? This is a FMV cut. You know, it's a cutscene from a PlayStation 2 video game. That is the level of quality we're talking here.
I don't know. Maybe CGI has just gone downhill then, because like CGI with some movies nowadays, I feel like are worse than this movie. Like there's some horrific CGI out there still.
Yeah, it's called Sharknado and Birdemic.
No, I'm talking like Thor. What is it? Love and Thunder. There was some atrocious CGI.
There was for the budget, but
but I'd still say Love and Thunder. The CGI is way better than this.
Yeah.
This CGI just has not aged well, in my opinion. It just it doesn't look. And nothing in it is like, wow, that looked real or that looked pleasing to the eye. A lot of it didn't.
Brian, how can you
some
say
of the
that?
subtle ones when I remember like when you know that like where they have to go into Dracula's like fucking hidden hideout or whatever it is, and they go through that like the mirror, like little subtle effects like that. I thought they did kind of well, but when it comes to like the fighting and stuff, like nah.
Brian, how can you besmirch this film after that epic Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde fight at the beginning?
Oh, that was actually dope. Are you guys fucking with me, or did you hate it?
That was like Beowulf times 3 times worse.
Oh, you guys hated it. I loved it.
Who was that? Hold on. I'm not as into horror as you guys. Who was that character? supposed to be?
You don't know
Mr.
Dr.
Hyde.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde?
Mr. Hyde.
No.
So he's a guy who basically injects himself with this formula or medicine, and it turns him into Mr. Hyde. Dr. Jekyll is the doctor who invents the serum. He injects himself and he turns into Mr. Hyde. Turns into this like monstrous creature. Did you ever see League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with James Bond? What's his name? Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
A long time. I barely remember it though. So
yeah, so they have like Dr. Jekyll in there, but it's based off of a book. You could probably honestly talk about it a little bit better than me, Craig.
Well, the Mummy with Tom Cruise, the one that bombed, like
with Russell Crowe, plays Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in that one.
And he's having this like internal struggle with himself.
Yeah,
he was set up to play Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde because, of course, this film was going to do gangbusters, and history did not prove them right. But yeah, so it was a man with a split personality, and his split personality is a monstrous fucking psychopath who kills all these people. As they say at the beginning, he's killed like 12 women, 20 men, however many children, and whatever.
I remember that line.
And he's got.
It sounds like outside of this movie, it might be an interesting thing to look into. Like,
so there's something that they did, and my parents actually bought this for me when I was a kid. But after the movie came out, they did a cartoon, like short film with Van Helsing and Dr. Jekyll, and it was really, really fucking cool. It was just a cartoon. I can't even tell you the year that it came out, but I must have watched this thing like 300 times, dude. It was so cool.
That's never probably not come across these shows, or if it has, it's never come across my.
Yeah, it's called Van Helsing: The London Assignment, and it's just a cartoon with him and Dr. Jekyll.
There's one thing I did check when I was watching this. So they wanted to show it in Paris. So if you're in England, you've always got Big Ben, or you've got maybe now the London Eye in the background, and it had the Eiffel Tower, but it was only half built, and this was in 1887. It said, and yeah, that tracks. It didn't finish construction until 1889. So I thought, well, at least they got that sort of continuity right, Yeah. It starts off 1887. It's Frankenstein's laboratory, and then it says Paris. 1 year later, Paris. 1 year later, so 1888. So 1889, and it's half constructed. There was some continuity there. I did look that up, but at the end of that fight with Dr. Jekyll, so he kills him, but as he's falling,
transforms back.
Hyde, he transforms back, and then after he's just pulled down at the start of the scene, he's pulled down a wanted picture of himself for murder. And then he just stands there and looks down.
I thought that too. Like everyone's just looking up at him.
Van Helsing,
you murderer!
Excuse me. He's 600 feet in the air. In pitch, in nighttime. There's no like massive amount of night pollution coming up and illuminating him. But they just look at, and you just see like. He looks down, they look like ants, zooms into his face, and the guy looks up, and then it zooms back up at him. He looks like this tiny little thing on the top of Notre Dame. I'm guessing it's supposed to be Notre Dame. Zooms up at him, and he's like, Van Helsing, and then it's just...
Well, if they have a murderer in the town of London that they know is Van Helsing, like everyone thinks that there's this murderer running around named Van Helsing, they look up on the roof, and they see a, silhouette of a man...
The only man in Paris wearing a fucking baseball, a cowboy hat.
Could have been Batman on vacation.
Maybe put the cowboy hat down, mate.
Yeah, talk about the fucking Batman gadgets in this movie. Holy shit!
Oh,
dude, speaking of what Craig said, though, I don't know what it was, but Steven Sommers really loves the zoom in shot in this movie. There's actually two things that you will see a lot of. You will see a lot of fast zoom ins. And you will see a lot of windows breaking, people smashing through windows. Yeah. I bet if you went back and watched this movie and got a count on how many people were thrown through windows or how many windows
And
were
cows.
busted, and cows, and newborn
Frankenstein.
vampire children.
Yeah.
Like, how many windows were busted in this movie? It'd probably be like in the 50s. It would be some crazy number.
Not to mention some beautiful little church building windows. What are those called?
Mosaics.
Stained glass.
Stained glass.
Stained glass. But yeah.
How is the only person who goes to church the one who needs to ask?
Because I'm not Catholic, and nor do I go to church, sir. I have my own relationship with God.
Yeah, so, sounds like most people here with priests.
Well, it's
Oh! Now that you mentioned it, so when Van Helsing is trying to walk out of the chamber where he's confessing his sins to the priest or whatever it was, and then he just pulls a lever and the door is locked. I was like, oh, this is how they get the children.
God damn it.
I was like, this is how they do it. They just have a fucking metal gate that they can lock people in.
That reminds me of a Frankie Boyle joke. I think you've seen it, Brian. I used to go to church when I was a kid. All that standing, kneeling. I wish they'd just pick a position and fuck me.
I think I have heard that one, yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah. This was, yeah. Fucking hell.
Is there any scenes in particular that you guys want to talk about with this film?
There's only one where I was like, what am I looking at here? And it was when Dracula kidnaps Kate Beckinsale.
Mm-hmm.
And in that ballroom scene. They open up in the ballroom, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? The masquerade, yeah. It's not just a masquerade. It's like in the you got people like doing streamers around, and
it's his vacation home, and he's Count Dracula. He's been around for 400 years.
His vacation home is fucking weird. I guess he has a thing for trapeze artists.
Well, not to mention they're all fucking vampires.
Yeah.
What did you think about what did you guys think about the part where did you notice it at the time when him and her are dancing and she looks in the reflection and all she sees is her? Did you guys know that they were all vampires at that point? Or did you just think, like, you knew instantly that everyone in that room was a vampire?
No, do you know what? I thought it was just... Now that you've said it, yeah, that makes complete sense. But I thought it was just focused because it was only focused on them. There was no one else in shot, like not in the mirror.
No, I paid attention to that too because I was like, I wonder if like this was them kind of showing in a small way that everyone in this room is a vampire, and it absolutely is. They have people dancing all around them.
That makes total sense.
Yeah, which was cool. I like that. I thought that was a neat little touch.
I thought it was either they were all vampires or it was he's the vampire, but he's also like putting on some kind of like hallucination.
Like an illusion.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because vampires got powers.
They do have that sort of.
It's the compelling.
They do have this ability. It's like some of them do, some of them don't. They're not fucking real, Craig. What the fuck are you talking about? In some stories, they can mind control you.
Yeah, most vampire tales, when they're put into like mainstream media, they have a compelling. They can compel people to do things.
Yeah, influence. Bit like the influences on.
I'll tell you what, though. On that note about how the realization that they're all vampires in there, like, and how fast they are, they could have just grabbed Van Helsing and his sidekick, like immediately, and just been like, "All right, well, you're done now. You came all this way."
And then it was also weird because Van Helsing had like supposedly beat up one of the trapeze artists. Like, you just hear punches off screen and that, like, Steven Summerall fashion. Like, apparently Van Helsing just, like, beat him up and then, like, hops on him.
Whack.
And then he swings, does a pretty perfect flip. They do show him mess up a little bit, but it's like, all right, Van Helsing's now a trapeze artist. Something in this film, though, that they don't really... I wanted more of, even since I was a kid. But, like, I wanted to know the relationship between Gabriel and Dracula more, because, you know, we end up finding out later in the film that Dracula was actually killed by Van Helsing, but we don't know how the fuck Van Helsing is, you know, hundreds of years old, because Van Helsing's 400 years old. And his memory, like, They talk a little bit about it in that first introduction with Van Helsing and Dracula that we're aware of. And then Dracula's just like, after he pulls out the cross, he's like, all right, I guess we don't have to talk about this right now. And I'm over here like, no, I want to know the backstory. Give me the lore.
Didn't you see Wolverine Origins? He fucking lives 100 years old, Hugh Jackman.
Now I'm just picturing
Wolverine.
What he does.
He spent the whole movie underneath a tree with his blades out, just cutting up tangerines.
I'm just picturing Wolverine eating oranges now.
Wolverine oranges.
That's crazy.
Dude, I'd go see that.
I'd watch it.
Do you know what? If Disney put that out, it would be
coming out this summer. Wolverine and
it'd be better than fucking Snow White, I'll tell you that.
Wolverine Origins, that movie's a fucking train wreck, but it's also fun.
Yeah, it is, but it's trash fun. Do you know what?
There's some people in that, I'm just thinking of, what is it, Danny Houston as, what's the guy's name? The fucking main villain for, Wolverine, William Stryker.
William Stryker.
Yeah. And Danny Houston's in there, and it's like, because it's such, and I like Danny Houston, but it's such a far cry from
Brian Cox.
Brian Cox as Stryker. Dude, Brian Cox as Stryker.
Brian Cox
so good. So
Brian
good.
Cox looks like I've just spent I'm 66 and I've just spent the last 50 years of those 66 in the fucking military. He just exudes that sort of aura and persona. And he's just
so good in that movie.
He looks like a Bond villain.
He easily could be.
It could be. That's one of the best Marvel villains, I think, was him as Stryker in X-Men 2.
Oh,
he's so good in that.
I've never been able to get over the original Sabretooth.
Oh,
the makeup and the prosthetics. That shit is crazy. And then they bought him back. They bought back the same actor in Deadpool and Wolverine, and then he just gets decapitated.
If Sabretooth was in the Universal Dark,
Dark Universe,
that Wolverine, that Sabretooth would have fit in fucking great in this film.
Yeah, because he looks like the fucking Wolfman that I looked up for an American Werewolf in London. That's what he looks like.
Not London. You looked up the one from...
I'm looking up an American Werewolf in London. Is that the one, 1981?
Yeah, he looks...
Yeah, I'm looking at the werewolf. It looks like Sabretooth.
I don't know what scene you're watching.
I'll send you a picture.
He looks like a wolf. When he's in full wolf, you just see like this... Like someone just injected all the steroids into a wolf. Okay.
Holy shit. Sorry, I just pulled up. It's that picture when he's like right before he's about to die next to the dumpster.
No, if you check on messages. Yeah, no, that
you could see what I'm saying there, right?
I can. That scene is on there for maybe anywhere from 3/4 of a second to 1.2 seconds. Yeah. They put all that effort in, and it's just so quick cut.
Now that I think about it, Halle Berry played Storm, and she played Catwoman.
She did.
That's pretty dope.
She played Catwoman. Yeah, I don't know if any guys have ever. It's like
I watched Catwoman. I didn't watch it for the movie though.
It's universally considered like one of the worst movies ever made.
Yeah,
the original Daredevil was pretty fucking dreadful.
Let's see here.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, Halle Berry famously.
So this is. Look at that! Look at that thing on the far right.
Oh, that's kind of dope.
Corner. That's
kind of dope. It definitely doesn't hold up to Van Helsing's by any fucking means.
What the?
Really?
Oh, God.
Pull up a picture of Van Helsing's werewolf.
Did you forget to take your meds, dude?
Look up Hugh Jackman's werewolf.
There you go. Nice CGI. PlayStation 2.
Like, that's just dope as fuck. So is
it looks
Underworld, dude. Underworld's got loads of CGI. They use a lot of prosthetics. I'll give them that.
It looks cool.
How about hold on? Let me look up because that's the one I remember. Underworld Lycan. Because they're called lichens in that.
Yeah. Well, I
They
think
got like
because that's prosthetics. That looks fire, actually.
that
that's
looks
what
really
people who
really
think
good.
they've got
Yeah.
legitimate werewolf syndrome.
This is the one
it's
from
called.
Underworld 2. This guy.
That's Underworld Evolution, right? Is the second one?
Okay, Brian. Now look up Killer Instinct.
No, look up
Killer
Basic Instinct.
No, Killer Instinct. I think he might be called Sabe, but just put werewolf. It should come up.
Killer Instinct Werewolf.
Is that a video game?
Top right hand corner.
This?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the best werewolf I've ever seen.
Yeah, and that's who I always used to play as on Killer Instinct on the Super Nintendo. And that's basically what he looks like.
Now look up Basic Instinct, Brian.
No, we're done.
Moving on. Moving swiftly on.
Man. So I mean, we could honestly. I mean, there's not too much to talk about with this this film. You kind of get what you get with it. But what other scenes, man? There was obviously the end game, the fight scene at the end between Dracula and the werewolf.
That was so bad.
You see, you hate it. I love it.
Dude, it reminded me of actually a more recent movie, the Batman versus Superman, with the fight between Superman and
Doomsday.
And Doomsday, because it's basically just them throwing and pushing each other everywhere. And it's just no.
I love it. If they didn't cut certain scenes, like I could have watched that scene for 10 minutes of them just going back and forth, going at it.
By the way, what happens at the end there? Like when
how she dies?
Yeah,
I never knew that.
He like pushes her, and then it's like, and then all of a sudden his sidekick goes, "Oh, she's dead." And it's like, wow, like this girl got thrown on rooftops by Dracula's brides at the beginning of the movie, and then one pushed by a werewolf, and she's dead.
Down. Like she gets thrown, and then she like hits a beam, and then hits something else, and hits on her way down. She gets
fucked up. Not to mention,
you're talking about before the death,
down the fucking trees.
Yeah, it's just one of those plot conveniences. Oh, she just fell enough so it didn't break 5 ribs. She, and then didn't punch her along.
I think you guys also got to remember in these scenes, her tits are definitely cushioning like 90% of the fall. Her boobs are like taking that impact.
They're not that big.
As nice as they aren't like massive or anything.
The corset helps.
But I'll tell you one thing that I did appreciate about this movie is when they introduced Kate Beckinsale's character. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but they introduced her ass first. It's like the camera starts on her ass and then goes up to her head. She turns around with a sword drawn. I don't know if any of you guys noticed that, but I certainly did, and I was like, wow, that's a great way to introduce one of the most gorgeous people who's ever graced the planet.
I'll tell you what. I will give one.
Wait, hold on. You have a good comment to make about this movie? You're gonna make me smile, Craig.
Fucking small one. Fucking small.
Give it to me. I don't care how small. Give me those 2 inches.
Adam's head when it's sort of he gets hit, and then his sort of head opens up.
Oh yeah, Frankenstein. Prosthetics with him are great.
I actually really like the design
of
the
idea of the design. Yeah, the design, the idea, and that didn't look God. It didn't look great. I didn't think, oh my God, that's exactly what it would look like. But it was unique. It was its own thing, and I thought that was a really good idea.
Cool.
Hugh Jackman. Just go. If I haven't got this cure by the stroke of midnight, you know what to do. I don't know if I can. It's like they're trying to have that sort of super heroic.
Yeah.
For me, come on, you've got to do it. You've got to do it for me. I don't know if I get involved. Do it for you, God. Do it for humanity. Do whatever. But they just can't pull it up. They're trying to make it so heroic.
This is the movie's flaw. They tried to make it The Mummy, and it worked for The Mummy. It didn't work for this one, in my opinion.
Here's the problem. Hugh Jackman isn't Brendan Fraser. Brendan. It
No,
works.
and
for
I like
Brendan
Hugh
Fraser.
Jackman, but
No, who doesn't? Hugh Jackman is universally beloved. Is that fair statement?
Yeah. Hugh Jackman is just like pretty damn pleasant. I mean, he married a woman that was like 40 years older than him, stayed with her for like 20 plus years, and now they're divorced, but it was ended amicably. Anyone who's ever worked with Hugh Jackman just says what a joy he is as a human being.
He's universally loved, but Brendan Fraser has that it factor that works.
He did. Brendan Fraser lost it though after he got.
He was going through a lot of personal shit.
Yeah.
Though. And for once, it wasn't that sort of personal.
Yeah.
What, heroin?
Yeah, it wasn't drugs. It was going through a lot of actual, real, personal shit.
Yeah.
You know, one of the few times it's actual. Oh no, it means it's person. You know, it was real life shit that he was dealing with.
So one of these scenes that you guys
but what was that?
About,
what was that?
Heroin,
It wasn't drugs. Yeah, it wasn't that. And I went like that.
Oh, it wasn't. Okay, that's the part I didn't hear.
It wasn't heroin. It was
I thought you said it was this, and I was like, what, heroin?
Have you seen Brendan Fraser recently? Does this look like a man who does heroin?
No.
He looks like he might enjoy a cheeseburger every now and then.
Yeah,
you leave him alone. He's American.
He's what?
No, I love Brendan Fraser.
He's Canadian.
Awesome.
He's a Canadian wonder. He's the Ryan. He's the better of the Canadians. Between him and Ryan Reynolds, I'll take Brendan Fraser any day.
Oh, 100 times out of 100, 1,000 times out of 100.
So when you're talking about scenes,
you love Ryan Reynolds.
No, I like him as Deadpool.
Life-changing.
I like him as Deadpool.
No, Craig's he's talking to me, dude.
Oh, because you hate Ryan
He's
Reynolds.
trolling me, yeah. He's trolling.
Right, guys, I'll be right back in 2 seconds.
Heard.
Brian, last scene I'll ask you about. Did you like the part, or was it one of these moments where you felt like they were trying to be too serious? When he's swimming after Frankenstein and he's trying to catch up to the boat, the door locks, and Van Helsing deals with that werewolf moment.
Okay. No, I didn't. I did not have a problem with that. The problem I had with was both of their escape routes were in the same fucking place.
What do you mean?
Him and Kate Beckinsale landed in the water.
Yeah,
and then all the goons just get on a boat that's already in the water.
What are the little Star Wars creatures called, by the way?
I don't know, but they were weird. I don't know. I was trying to think of what they were. They remind me of a video game creature in Half-Life 2, but a shorter and stockier version of it.
What are they called? The fucking Star Wars little things.
Scary Oompa Loompas? I don't know.
The little furry fuckers.
Oh, Ewoks?
Ewoks, yeah. These guys reminded me of Ewoks, like the little Dracula's little minions. Or they reminded me of the hooded creatures from Star Wars. They're not
Jawas.
Jawas.
I think
that's what they reminded me of. Jawas.
I think they behaved more like Jawas than Ewoks.
Yeah. Or
they had some kind of grasp of electronics and technology.
Yeah. Sorry, I've just come back, guys.
We're talking about the Jawas in Van Helsing.
The Jawas, yeah. I completely forgot to bring them up. I was like, we're Jimmy! I was like, what the fuck is going on here?
Babaloo!
Oh my god.
Chicken pop! Chicken pop!
And you hear one of them when it gets set on fire, and it just makes this really weird random noise.
I do remember that, yeah.
It's like, well, that's not the noise of anything being set on fire. But I don't even get what they're supposed to be. Because
I don't know either.
They discussed it. They talked about it. They're all Kate Beckinsale said. She goes, yeah, these are like Dracula's little minions. They're like, if you just better hope that you're dead by the time they get their hands on you. These little vile creatures.
It doesn't tell us anything about what they are. What are they?
Literal.
You know what I think my biggest problem with the movie was? The people in that town.
The CGI.
The people in that town never decided, like, hey, maybe we should move and get the fuck out of here.
Well, a bit like Tombstone.
No, because remember, like, they said like 3 or 4 different times. They said 3 or 4 different times. like Dracula. Well, Dracula only takes like one or two of us, and then he leaves us alone per month. And it's like that's
down.
1 or 2 per month too many. Like,
yeah,
just fucking leave.
Transylvanians are like fucking. They're a different breed of fucking just weird people.
Well, they like being ruled over by fucking a couple vampires in a castle.
How funny was that one guy though with the shovel, the gravekeeper? Did you guys find him amusing at all?
Meh.
He gets eaten by the werewolf. No,
I know who you're talking about, the blonde hair guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
He cracked me up, man.
Here's the thing, though, about that. If you were talking about like 1642 or something like that, that's rough. I don't know why I pulled that out of thin air, but I think that's roughly when we're talking about Vlad Dracula Tepesh. Okay, back then, yeah. In 1887, 89, whatever, we're talking 140 years ago, this is like 30 years before men first took flight. They're happy with, a village is happy with a vampire. What? We're not that far removed from, what we would class as our current modern day.
Yeah. Dude, splitting the atom is right around the corner. Like,
yeah.
I saw something. Oh, never mind. I can't say this here. Never mind.
Okay.
It must be bad then.
It must be pretty bad.
Yeah,
we push the boundaries a lot on this.
Yeah. It's about splitting an atom, and yeah, we'll get there. I'll tell you later.
Splitting an atom, ADAM.
Yeah, some guy called Adam. Well,
no, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Something to do with Frankenstein's monster.
No, I thought for a second Captain was gonna mention Mel Gibson again.
No, that's where it was heading.
Oh my!
That's where it was heading. Not to Mel Gibson directly.
Jesus Christ!
But splitting an atom and
Brian, you bad man.
What? Continuity, baby.
Okay. The whole
I feel,
thing, though,
dude,
what those little creatures are called.
I actually really admire Mel Gibson's work. So
yeah, same.
We're just teasing them. It's not like
films or the pamphlets.
Are you guys curious to know what those little creatures are?
I do want to know, but I could not resist putting that one in.
They're small humanoid creatures called dwergies. They are servants of Dracula and are said to be from foreign lands. The inspiration from them came from dwarves from German folklore.
Dwarves.
So they're just little dwarves that are vicious and get their hands on crafting and shit like that.
Well,
okay.
Disney.
So they're basically hobbits if they were orcs.
Yes.
I don't know.
Basically hobbits, and then Gabriel was actually in the movie. Dracula recognizes Van Helsing as Gabriel, the archangel who killed him in 1462. So he was an archangel.
Yeah.
The left hand of God.
Yeah.
Which is what he calls him in the film. How does it feel being the left hand of God? It's like, well, dude, you work for the Vatican. It's like,
but like, what powers does he have to be an angel? You know what I mean?
I thought it was kind of a Ronnie Pickering moment, that scene.
What do you mean?
Yeah. There's Quinn's never seen that, but there's this wonderful video from Britain, and it's this guy Ronnie Pickering who it's a road rage video. The guy who took the video is on a bike, right? I'm trying to get this right. Yeah. So he's on a bike, and the guy in a car pulls up and is like pissed at him for doing something. And he goes, "Do you know who I am?" He's like, "No, who are you?" Ronnie Pickering. Who? Ronnie Pickering. Who the fuck is that? It's just this. It's so hilarious.
We'll do this off script. We're not going to put it on here. It doesn't fit with what we're doing, but we will show him off screen.
But in that spirit, there's that moment where Dracula's like, Gabriel, and I can just see it on Van Helsing's face. He's like, who the fuck's that? Who are you talking about? Who's that? But anyway, sorry. It's a bad attempt at humor, I guess.
No, I get what you meant with that. Jesus Christ. Okay, anything else to talk about? female actor, I think including Kate Beckinsale, and maybe she knew, maybe she just didn't care, was hired, like vampire, female vampire, people who had on-screen lines. They were purely hired for looks.
Yeah, everyone except for the Friar's little fling.
Yeah.
I thought she was cute too.
Yeah, she wasn't bad either.
She was cute, but not in that. Like, it wasn't like the
yeah, but they didn't really. They didn't. But they also didn't dress her up in like fancy clothes and stuff like they did the other girls. So
yeah, she wasn't in a corset or anything. But
she was in like a fucking rag. So anyway, but
I do hate what they did to it. It's like this dude was Boromir, like not 2 years ago. Dude,
I know.
What happened?
Well, he also showed up in 300, and I think he was.
But in 300,
what is his last role? Does anyone know anything that he's been in as of late?
No.
I've got his. Give me.
What's his name again?
David Wenham.
David Wenham.
I actually looked up his filmography to see if he's been around, and he has been. I just haven't heard of much of any.
David
of
Wenham. Let me have a look.
I do know that he was in the Elvis movie, but I shut that off after 30 minutes, so I can't remember. And I try to keep that movie out of my head.
He did something called Fake in 2024.
Fake. Yeah, 2024, Faraway Downs, 2023. So,
guys, what the fuck? They put him in the sequel of 300? I don't even know. I didn't even know that there was a sequel.
Yeah, Rise of the Empire or something like that. But no, he's he's getting bits of work, but it's I distinctly remember this performance, and
he's in one of my favorite cartoons of all time, the Guardians of Gahul.
I thought if you said Peter Rabbit, I was gonna.
He's in Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, the shitty one with the mermaids.
But okay, don't know what's going on in the background there, but it sounds good.
What?
I just heard a noise on.
Oh yeah, she's got a thing for the Pirates of the Caribbean mermaid one, and I think it's one of the worst. Yeah, she likes the movie. I don't. It's like one of our only disagreements on movies.
I like the first few, and then it just it got like Transformers and Fast and Furious. It's like, how are these films still making this much money? Like, they're just getting worse and worse. And I'm like,
they should have stopped with the trilogy, dude. The first three were solid. Some of the best CGI still to date.
I'm gonna go on a rant because fuck it. I literally like, because as someone who values like good stories and like deep films that have a lot of deep themes to them, and it really requires you to like think about what's going on in the movie. I wish that those killed it at the box office, because like Craig, what you just said, like how do some of these movies that get put out, like how do these ones that make all the money? It's fucking depressing to me, because some like I look at like the returns on some movies where I'm like, dude, that like, and this may sound harsh, but I feel like I'd have to be brain dead to enjoy. Like,
no, that's why I
especially the
Fast and Furious.
No, but Fast and Furious movies in particular.
Yeah.
This movie was different because I enjoyed it the first time I watched it. And now, as I'm watching it later, I'm like, oof, that's nah. I don't know what I was thinking. So it's a little different.
I enjoy it enough as it like, this is stupid. I'm enjoying myself. When am I next going to watch this? Last time I watched this was when it came out. I watched it now because I was asked to. Next time I watch it, in a few years.
So you will watch it again.
If someone, in a few years' time, says, "Oh, this is on. Let's put this on," I will sit and watch it. I'll remember it because we've had to do this. I'll remember it better, but I'm not going to go, "Oh my god, I totally misunderstood this movie."
No, it's not a movie that's supposed to get super deep. I think that this movie is meant to just be one of those action fucking adventure movies.
Someone said gothic horror action, and I thought that's perfect for what this.
But
is.
if a movie like this, with the budget that it has and the characters that it has in it, if it works, then I bet you it's like tons of fun watching it. Like the main thing I got from this movie was it was trying to be The Mummy, and it just fell short in the way that The Mummy hit on most of its notes and became a very enjoyable. Even though it's like
what did
Craig
you give
said,
The Mummy, a 7?
Like I gave it a 7. Yeah, like Craig said, like it's a romp, but it's so much fun.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
But this one, for me anyway, just remember, it's just my opinion. But
I hear you.
It didn't hit with me, even with Kate Beckinsale's fine ass in there.
Let's compare. Okay, Mummy, Brendan Fraser, Rachel Weisz chemistry.
Unmatched.
It's not remotely close.
Can't even come close.
The chemistry between Hugh and Kate Beckinsale here was not really there. Even the kiss didn't feel like it was it.
Yeah, they stopped each other, and then they had that bit of mute
it was weird.
I thought she had more chemistry with the Count Dracula.
Honestly, in that one scene where they're dancing in the room,
Jessica gets snapped out of it. Yeah, you sort of
he was compelled. That's the term that vampires use anyway.
Compel. Vampire.
I thought it was charmed.
Vampires. Is that what we're calling them now?
It is. What?
They were compelled.
I'm missing something here.
I think it starts with an R.
Oh, Diddy.
Diddy. Like, did he or did he?
Oh no, did he?
All of the above. The answer is A and B.
It was did he? Did he is what we mean.
Diddy the diddler?
Did he?
Diddler Diddy?
What did he get caught with? Like 1,000 bottles of what?
Baby oil.
Baby oil. That's what it is.
Yeah, and then his lawyer put out an announcement that said, "Yeah, well, he shops at Costco, so he just buys in bulk." That's what his lawyer put out. And then Costco wrote a statement on their Twitter saying that we don't sell baby oil in bulk.
Can you imagine P. Diddy in Costco just
on
the ride with fucking 50 bloody shopping carts?
Holy shit!
I'll tell you what, this Dracula gets all the baby oil for the children.
What
fucking experiment
what?
that he? Oh. No, all the creating all the fucking
for the children. Fucking. You might have to cut that out. You said Dracula gets all the baby oil for the children fucking, and then you stuttered.
Why do I hang out with you two?
Oh my god!
I meant to say he gets it for the vampire children when they're all in those little sacks, and then they have to like.
Where are they? What are they doing? What the fuck now? Oh, for fuck's sake, you two!
You know when he has to put Frankenstein in the machine, and then he has to turn it on and electrocute all the fucking.
Yes.
It's
crazy.
Oh my god! Do you know what that reminded me of?
I'm gonna get a talking to.
Right, here's two things that I got callbacks to: the hanging pods with his children. I'm sorry, his
Alien.
children. Like what kind? Actually, no. What kind of uterus is that coming out of for a start?
Good point. Where did those children come out of?
Ooh. And it reminded me of The Matrix.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right? And
I could see that.
I never clicked because I'll just watch the film blind initially, just even if it's a rewatch. I don't know what I'm doing to my hands. Maybe I've got Parkinson's.
You're a secret piano player. We all know it.
I've got one upstairs, mate.
Love that.
Not piano, keyboard, but Dracula gets thrown into the fire by Adam at the start in the fight.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, like the monster. Yeah. and then he comes out and he's all burnt, and then it's literally a scene from The Mummy.
That I caught that too. That's hysterical.
I was like, that is like shot.
Yeah,
that is literally, if you could have put that in The Mummy somehow, if you could have just done a quick reason for this to be in The Mummy, it would have fit perfectly. It was like 5 years later, but it would have fit absolutely perfectly in that film.
Agreed.
Right, come on, let's get a nice quick one in.
Let's do the reviews.
Let's wrap this up. Let's get this bad boy and see if we can get it to about.
Who do you want to start with?
I know what Ryan's going to give this movie.
Do you know?
Who's Brian? Reynolds?
King Abooma. I'll start it off before you guys convince me to rate it lower somehow. I'm going to give it a solid 8. I have so much nostalgia going through this
What were you going to rate it before we did that?
I would have given it an 8, and I still am giving it an 8. What I'm saying is that even though this movie in critical terms, like if I'm rating this movie for like the plot, the storyline, all of that, I would probably just shit on this movie. I see so many problems with this movie, but I was a sucker as a kid, and I bought into the love. I bought into the romance, the action. I loved it all as a kid, and it's followed me into adulthood. I just have a huge love for this film, and that's just sitting on my couch with a bag of popcorn, just feeling like Van Helsing was the coolest character in the world, and he's just like turning into this werewolf. You have the big creatures battling at the end of the movie. It was sick. Looking at this movie now, it's hard to ignore a lot of its flaws.
But when you've made us watch it, knowing that
when I rewatch it, it's got so many flaws. The acting is what really fucked this up for me this time around. If an acting job isn't done right, it takes me out of the scene completely. But it didn't happen with this movie. Even though I was like, yeah, this person's a god awful actor, I just knew that there was a scene coming up that I looked forward to rewatching. But no, I got a lot of love for this film. I'm going to give it an 8, just pure enjoyment of watching it. Like I said to Brian and you guys at the start. But the first 30 to 40 minutes of this film are fire. I love this Dracula in this movie. He's a huge selling point for me. I like the extra that he gives to the role of playing Dracula. I like that it's almost like I'm watching a play when he's on screen. I don't know what's going to come out of his mouth. All I know is that he's going to just kind of outperform, maybe for better or for worse. But I had a lot of fun with his character. I thought he was a good villain. We lack a lot of good villains in movies. And I just liked that this Dracula didn't need to have a crazy amount of depth. He was just a psycho guy who's just, he's like, let me please my vampire maidens and just give them their fucking children and live my miserable, horrific life. Like, he was just a simple bad guy, but he was manipulative. He's evil, and I fucked with his whole character through and through. So I give it an 8. I enjoyed this movie. It's got a hell of a lot of problems. I'm not going to give it like 2 different scores. I really just enjoy this movie.
Dude, not wrong with that. He wanted to exist as a vampire, and unfortunately, that means you have to feed on blood. Luckily, I'm not a cow because fuck me, I love steak and burgers. So,
all right. What do you got, Craig? We'll get to you, Brian.
I got to feel like you're not looking forward to what I have to say.
I'm not. That's why I'm keeping it away as long as I can.
I'm usually last here. I'm gonna purely for the fact that saving graces, the guy playing Dracula, hamming it up, chewing the fuck out of the scenery like it was a dog with a bone, and the fact that it knows it's camp. Though you do not write those lines unless you know this film is supposed to be a bit hokey as fuck. Yeah. If this film was made for $50 million, I could go, I can justify every dollar of those $50 million. The fact there's 110 strapped on top of that.
160 at least.
$160 million.
No, but on top of that, so 110 on top of that, it's like, where the fuck did that money go? It wasn't on the CGI. It wasn't on the writing. It wasn't. Can we try and make this scene look a bit more believable, please, guys?
Was CGI super developed at that point, though? I feel like 2004 is pretty damn early for that kind of CGI.
Dude, 2003 was Return of the King, the battle on the Pelennor Fields. So
yeah, it's fair. That's
and you had 2 Star Wars movies come out before then.
Yeah,
and you had a third one on the way in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
you had the Matrix.
Fuck. Yeah, but the CGI in Phantom Menace was.
Dude, it looked like a fucking PS2. That was immediately the first thing that popped in my head. Fucking hell, this is a PS2 game.
What, Van Helsing?
Yeah, when the brother, Valkan, whatever.
Voltron?
Valken.
Valken, yeah, but do you know what? I got it right about an hour ago, and now an hour later, it's already left my brain.
It's like me with that. What was that one I was having trouble with? Do you remember that one
film?
Which one was it? I could probably pull it up. Which one was it? Fuck you.
Give you a review while he looks it up.
No, it was the Mummy. It was the Magi.
Oh, the Magi.
It's
Magi. The
like
Magi. They call him Magi in the movie. So to me, it's Magi.
Right. Sorry.
It's Magi.
Sorry.
Let's not start that. That's just
it's Magi.
That's just a geek argument waiting to happen.
It is.
Craig, we need a rating.
Rating 5.5. Because
I'll take that. I'll take it. Brian's gonna give it a fucking 2.
The reason
I got a good poker face.
I love Hugh Jack. Everyone loves Hugh Jackman. Kate Beckinsale is always a joy to watch. The acting was so shitty. I think it was meant the Brides of Dracula. They just try to find people who couldn't act. I actually think that must have been intentional. There's no way they went, okay, that will do. Yeah, this is what we're looking for. I think it was a director's choice to find.
Yeah, I think the director maybe got some.
It wanted to be
some on the side for these
it was
acting choices.
So soap opera.
Yeah,
like the acting is so out there and soap opera. It's just so overblown. They just went, can we just find some really good looking women who can be completely shitty actors and just tell them, give it everything you've got. Yeah. It is dumb as fuck. The ending. The guy, you've got Dave Wenham's character. He's still reading out the book, and somehow there's this mist ghost stares him in the face, and he doesn't.
I forgot about that.
Oh, by the way, monk, you might want to look. Here's everything that completely proves that your justifies your faith in.
Well, I mean, Gabriel is a fucking archangel, man.
But he doesn't know that he can't see. Like
he may now.
It was like the end of Ghost. You've got fucking The Lion King, where the sun comes through the clouds, and you can just see them and peace back with their family. It's just that it's dumb as fuck. I would not turn it off. I would not tell anyone to switch it off. But would I recommend it to anyone? Would I fucking shite? I will tell them you probably won't enjoy it, but you probably won't hate it.
You're going to be in my letter, Craig. Go ahead.
What letter? What are you talking about?
What, your pamphlet?
It's a joke that you can't emphasize on.
Okay, that one felt like a lead balloon, mate.
All right, that's good. That's good.
Brian, hit us, big boy.
Okay, this movie sucked. This is the thing about it though, when I first watched this 20 years ago, I remember kind of enjoying it. And then I watched it this time around, and this time around I just couldn't wait for it to be over. And when you can't wait for it to be over, that's not good. At least in my view. The dialogue was shitty. the acting was shitty. You got some pretty good actors in here too, but the acting was shitty. That I feel like, even though obviously the guy who played Dracula was having a blast doing this, but I think it was even. I think I'm alone on this panel thinking that a lot of it was way over the top. But at least he had some fun doing it. I definitely applaud him for that. The only saving grace for me is seeing Kate Beckinsale in it, but she is not in a Underworld latex skin tight uniform, so it's still kind of not as good. And I found myself a lot of the time be like, man, I just want to watch Underworld now, because that's I don't know if you said, Quentin, that this is one of your guilty pleasure.
It is my guilty
movies.
pleasure.
Okay,
movie.
Underworld's one of mine. I know Underworld's not that good, but I enjoy it.
It's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah, but but I was not expecting, like, the difference between seeing it then and now. It's like the Grand Canyon for me.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
And the CGI was so bad.
I thought it was great.
There was like one or two times where I was like, well, that was all right.
What did you guys think about the
There's so much
cinematography?
CGI in the entire movie where if you only go like one or two times, you're like, yeah, that looked good, and the rest of the time it looks shit. That's not good. And I just feel like it was trying so hard to be the Mummy, when everything that the Mummy hit on and got right, this got completely wrong, and it just didn't work. And so I would probably rate it lower, but because Kate Beckinsale's in it, I'm going to give it a 4. Because 4 it's the lowest. I think I rated Ghostbusters a 4 too, and I think that was because
You rated Ghostbusters a 4?
Yes, I did. I didn't like Ghostbusters at all. It was one of those. It was one of those movies where it's same as this one. I was waiting for it to end. I was like, I couldn't wait for it to be over.
That's right. I remember
And
you saying that.
if that's the case, I can't rate it higher than
That's fair.
than a 4.
That's
And I wanted to rate Ghostbusters lower, but because one of my favorite icons, Sigourney Weaver's in it.
That, and then you also got the scene where the demon hands come out of the couch and grab her boobs. Pretty cool.
That was one of the rare times where I was like, whoa, that was dope.
Yeah.
And that. But anyway, back to Van Helsing. I could see Craig turning red because of what I said about Ghostbusters. But yeah, that's just how I feel. I couldn't wait for it to be over, and it was cheesy, and it just, it didn't work.
Schlocky.
Didn't work. That's a good word.
There's a word for it. Schlocky.
Schlocky.
Right.
There was a lot of faffing.
We can
A lot of fucking.
I think we can all agree on the Muppet rating.
Right next to Transylvania, apparently.
Transylvania.
A lot of faffing.
A lot of faffing.
Go to
And
a
the
lot
kicking
of
back
faffing.
inside. Got a lot
I didn't know a lot of faffing was off the coast of Italy. A lot of faffing.
A lot. Go on, do your best Transylvania accent, then, bitch.
Transylvania.
I am
A lot of
Count
faffing.
Dracula. I will fuck you.
Behold, I am Count Dracula,
Yeah, a lot.
and I
What
am
is-
here.
He said his name was
Where-
different.
where-
he was
where
like,
do you
it's
live, Count
Dracula or something.
Dracula. As far as I know,
I
they have
don't
all the R's. As far as I know, I am not going to pretend I do know. Everything I've heard, I know there's a lot of rolling R's. So, Dracula. Dracula.
You guys want to all agree on something?
You know what I was most disappointed
The
in,
Muppet
though?
rating? Muppet meter?
Oh,
go
the
ahead,
Muppet
Ryan.
meter is
This
going to
is
be kind
going
of
high
fun.
90s. This is high 90s. Baby, this is going
Dude, okay, but the last thing, again, I've said it twice before. Like, when I saw that Alan Silvestri did the score, I was like, oh, man. That sucks.
This is going to be good. Yeah, it's like...
Because I like Alan Silvestri, but this is one of those. I was like, he did this. Like, I think he got lazy when he got to this one. Like, he just didn't care. It seemed like.
Considering
liked it.
neither of you have seen Bram Stoker's Dracula, Quentin Catano, you've done up like him now. That he's got the big red cape on that film.
Count fuck
yes,
you.
yes. No, listen to the children of the night.
You sound like God.
I sound like Gary Oldman on that film is what I sound like, motherfucker. Don't say anything else. Oh my god, the Muppet Meters. Let's go. Come on, Captain. This
10
is
out
your
of 10,
pick.
bro. Kate Beckinsale and her rope singing sequence is enough to give it a 10.
Oh my
when she's
god.
swinging over that bridge and is like, first off, you got Van Helsing, the trapeze artist up and comer in that one scene. You got Kate Beckinsale that is falling 50 feet from a tree and then still lands in the sexy hair flip pose where she's like, yeah, I landed that shit. After like fumbling in the air with the director just watching the entire shot of her crashing into multiple branches. But my God, that rope swing was tough to watch. Where they're, what's his name is on the thing getting chased around by Igor with the little pointer thing. And you have Kate Beckinsale that's now soaring through the air, I guess, on some wires that probably still have electricity in them in the rain. She's swinging on them, and then,
but she's not grounded.
Throws the thing. She goes, just toss it to me. I got this. And just is like, ugh. Like catches it
but he
miles
goes,
an hour on
yeah!
an electrocuted rope. Yeah.
There's a big yeah at the end when she catches it.
Yeah. The Muppet Reader for me is just 10 out of 10. There's too much shit in this movie that is just it's a 10 on the Muppet scale, man. Too many crazy sequences that make absolutely no sense. Still an 8 out of 10 though, guys. Still love the movie.
If you do, there's nothing wrong with that. If you love it, you love it.
That is correct.
All right. Muppet rating for you two fine gentlemen.
Okay, go ahead, Brian. I want to hear what you do with this one.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
The CGI is. I can't get past the CGI. It looks like. Yeah, it looks like
it's a
PlayStation 2 kind of shit. Yeah,
it really is. That's the first thought that popped in my head, and it didn't change. I thought, no, I'm not wrong.
There's also you want a Muppet moment that was where I was like, what the fuck?
Hit it.
Where it's that scene where they're Frankenstein's in the carriage and Hugh Jackman has to ride and then the vampire brides show up. And then they have that ET moment over the bridge because the bridge has collapsed.
Oh, yeah, and the horse is jumping.
Yeah, but that's not the worst part. The worst part is they get across that, and then all of a sudden, so now Hugh Jackman's on one of the 6 horses that get across. The carriage has fallen, though. And then all of a sudden, on the other side, like, once it gets across, like 20 feet away, there's another road, and that's the one that Kate Beckinsale and Frankenstein are on in like identical horse and carriages. And I was like, if the road's that close, how come that road isn't 100 miles away at some other mountain pass? So the fucking brides don't know that they're there.
No,
we fell for the wrong carriage, but 50 feet away, I see the real carriage.
Good God.
Okay.
I was like, that was stupid.
Bro, 2 things to add to that. Right, if they're in their aerial, they can see that there's 2 roads. 1, so
thank you.
And 2, why the fuck? Like, because they're making out like that whole sort of thing. They're making out like this is still like the 1500s. Why would they do 2 roads 50 feet apart from each other? They have to clear a road. Unless like it's nice to do it for them. They have
one of the roads is only one way,
They're gonna put 2 roads 50 feet apart. How did the other one get across
in the middle of fucking bumfuck Transylvania too? There's no way that's happening. Oh,
this film is a melter-meter of Muppetry.
Yeah. It really is. Like, you could go over 10.
I could. I will. Fuck it. This is going 11 stars in the Tokyo Dome.
Oh yeah, he did it. I didn't know anybody was gonna go Meltzer on the Muppet meter. Holy God!
It's our rules. It
is.
We establish them, but we can. It's like the constant.
Should we have a jingle for?
There needs
to be a jingle.
Oh,
hold on.
Your dog is so perfect back there.
That's 8-bit. That's like 16-bit fucking
just so everyone
music.
Yeah. It's Sega Genesis.
Yeah, it's
Music.
Genesis. Definitely Mega Drive. People, Brits.
Oh
Mega
yeah,
Drive.
and here's the Genesis.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. God damn it! What was this film thinking? It is just
They wanted to be the Mummy.
That's what it is.
Have you
I
ever
think
cooked-
they were
have you
trying
ever
so
cooked
hard to
them?
be the Mummy.
He knew
Have
he
you
had a
ever
hit with the Mummy.
They did, right? Like the Mummy. This is what we're trying to make. Have you ever cooked something when you're drunk and you just end up going, "Oh, let's put a bit of garlic and just add in everything," and it's like at the end of it, it's like you'll eat it. It's like, well, I wasn't sick. It didn't taste horrible, but I'm not making that again. And you wake up and you go, and you look in the kitchen, you go, what did I fucking do last night? That's what, to me, that's what this film is. This film was an episode of drunk cooking. And it really, the Muppet meat is off the fucking charts in this one. The CGI is piss poor. Even back then, we mentioned the few films, just considering the budget, that's what it should be, at least not better than, but at least close to. And not even close. Not even close. It was this film. If you didn't have the human actors in it, if you didn't have the fact that it was actually Hugh Jackman, Kate Beckinsale, you could have just said this was a cutscene from Resident Evil 2. It was just 2 hours long. Do you know what I mean? Right?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, like, in a roundabout way. Would I tell someone to turn it off? No.
Here's the positive thing that I'll say about this. Well, maybe it's not positive.
I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's stupid as fuck, but it's fun.
I didn't have fun watching this.
Is this why you were so quiet before we started filming? Because you were...
No, I was digesting. I had just eaten food. But
digested the pile of shit he just watched, unfortunately, I guess.
No, there was some of that before that too, yeah. But I feel like with the characters and the setting and the time period and the themes here, like you could restart like redo a movie like this, and you could. There's a chance it could be there's something in there where you could get it to be good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, not having all those characters in one
agree.
movie, like maybe focusing just on Dr. Jekyll, and then maybe the next movie you do some werewolf theme. Van Helsing is a character that went across and battled very different monsters. They just decided, hey, we may not get a second movie. Let's just throw everyone in here and have it be a clusterfuck. Is I think what his problem was. Because
Go ahead. Yeah, you got three different books in one movie.
You got 3 different books in one movie.
The characters are nothing like the book version.
Right.
Except for maybe Frankenstein. Like Frankenstein was like the one character where I like the design of Frankenstein in this a little bit. And he was acting like his character was behaving in a way sometimes how the Frankenstein from the book might have acted a couple of times. But
something I couldn't get to bring up earlier. I didn't want to, because I didn't want to stop you and cut in. Do you want to know who Van Helsing is in Bram Stoker's Dracula?
Oh.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
What?
Silence of the Lambs.
Okay, I gotta watch this.
Anthony Hopkins is always great.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
He's Anthony Hopkins. He's Welsh.
I think he's a sir, isn't he?
He is definitely a sir. He is definitely a sir.
What makes you?
Actually, nothing to do with the movie. This is just an American asking a Brit a question here. Are they allowed to? Is the well, it's a king now. Is the king allowed to knight any foreigners, or does it have to be someone from the UK?
Pass.
I think I stumped him here.
I think they have to be. I can't think of anyone that isn't a British citizen. I think it has to be someone British citizen who has done something for the country that has become that noteworthy and of that esteem that it is recognised by the crown. So I think it is. Yeah, because you can get peerages for.
I definitely think it holds more weight than the what's the one that we do, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Yeah,
because that's political. I feel like whoever the royal family admires or whatever they give that to. But with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, it's just the president wanting to meet whoever is a celebrity that is in line with their fucking ideology.
I'm not going to lie. This isn't the Brit in it. Actually, no. Fuck it. It is. This is a bit of the Brit in me. What sounds better? And I have the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Is that right?
Yeah, or I'm a fucking knight. I'll take the knighthood, sir.
The knight would be sick.
Oh, no, sorry.
The knighthood would be so
I
fire.
am Sir Anthony Hopkins. I am Sir Stephen Fry. I don't know if he's been awarded it yet, but I know he's on the honours list. So we're going to have a Sir Stephen Fry.
Is there like a process that they have to go through for that?
Yeah, they go, they kneel, the sword.
I thought the king just.
They actually do it.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the king. It can be a member of the royal family. I am not a royalist, so I can't tell you if that's exactly right. But essentially, they do go through a process. I mean, like Dave Bowie turned it down. There's been quite
that's very interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't know anybody would turn that down.
Yeah, there's been quite a few. But I think maybe Stephen Hawking. For some reason, I've got Stephen Hawking in my head. I could be talking complete shit, and he's a Sir, but I don't remember hearing Sir Stephen Hawking. I think he may have turned it down. Some people have turned it down, but yeah. He's definitely a Sir. It is Sir Anthony Hopkins, because the dude's had a fucking legendary career. So absolutely, yeah. The dude is amazing. When you're on screen for 13 minutes and you win a freaking Oscar for supporting actor.
What movie?
Silence
of the Lambs.
Yep, he's on screen for 13 minutes.
Yeah, but that's like Silence of the Lambs. when he fucking skins the officer's face and wears it out.
Yeah,
it's insane.
But yeah, all in all, this film, it wasn't good, was it?
Toughened your nipples, didn't it, Clarice?
Love that.
Put the fucking lotion in the basket.
Well, that's not Anthony Hopkins.
Buffalo Bill.
That's Buffalo Bill,
Yeah.
Same movie, though.
I'm talking about Anthony Hopkins when he's talking to that fucking like politician or whoever it is, and he's got the mask on, and he's like, did he breastfeed? Toughen your nipples, didn't it?
Oh my god. That made me
uncomfortable. It's
made my nipples tough.
Here's the thing though with that. How charismatic is he? Even though he's the creepiest bastard.
Psychopath.
You cannot take your eyes off him. That's the
He's amazing.
And god, and he's never lost that. But not even Anthony Hopkins will make me watch the Transformers films.
Is he in one of those?
He's in a bunch of them.
Transformers? Well, like the new
like
ones?
a Senate or something? Like a secretary?
Like the back in England, it's like, well, I have not watched them. From what I understand, it's like the Transformers used to be here, like 400. They came down to Earth first time 400 years ago when, we were fighting the Crusades. And it's just like, oh, for fuck.
Yeah. That's interesting. He's doing Transformers movies.
Yeah,
I feel like he doesn't turn down a lot of stuff now, though.
Just make the money.
Well,
the guy is up. I think he's got to be in his 80s. He's just leaving a will for his nearest and dearest. So I think his name.
He's
carries
87 now.
He's 80.
Yeah. He's fucking old, man.
Well, if you can, wouldn't you just want to leave a load of
Load of dough for your family.
Christopher Walken's only 81.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's way better. So
well, this was what kind of film are you thinking for next week? Who has the next pick of?
Oh yeah, I believe Craig has that honor. I'm gonna have to cut that out though.
Oh, the music.
I'm gonna have to cut that part out though.
You might not have to because
yes,
I've never heard that very beginning bit before. Whenever I've heard it, it just starts off.
Oh,
dude,
dude, trust me. If there's a faint song in the background of what I'm doing, and the algorithm checking system recognizes it, it's getting flagged.
That's fucked.
It's music. Music is on YouTube. It's just off the. If it recognizes anything, it flags it.
Just put Craig's Muppet ass started playing Mortal Kombat theme.
You could do that. That would actually be really funny too.
Right. Okay. Cool. If it's gonna get flagged, well, I apologize for that because I thought that'd be just a bit of fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was. It's just when it comes to music on YouTube, there's nothing fun about it.
So, what movie are you going to pick?
YouTube, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but I'm following your rules. I love being on YouTube, so don't hurt me. Okay.
What if I sing it? Mortal Kombat.
Oh, if you play instruments, I've heard that happening where people play like instruments of a tune, and that gets flagged.
Insane. That's insane.
That was my plan for opening it up next week.
Was it?
Just play it on the.
You could. I mean, the chances of it happening are very small, but I have heard of it happening before. So I would just go for it.
Something like a smooth jazz version of it, maybe just like. I
mean, if it's I assume it's just going to be on the guitar, right?
Yeah, but just inspired by this, like, because this was ridiculous, goofy shit. Mortal Kombat has no right to be as good as it is. It is so much.
I think I'm gonna watch it and be like the same with this, only because because you know how Quentin was saying, like, you know, this was like one of his favorite movies as a kid, and like even today it's still one of his favorites. Like, I feel like as a kid, Mortal Kombat was one of my favorites. I loved Mortal Kombat. I watched it as an adult like 7 or 8 years ago, and even then I was like, man, what was I kind of like was like, what was I thinking? I think it's gonna even more so now, but who knows? But I know one thing, like this, I feel like this is gonna be such a terrible movie, and I'm gonna be like, this movie's awful, and yet
I'm still some good laughs.
I'm still gonna be like, I thoroughly enjoyed myself.
So much fun. Yeah, this film has no right to be as good as it should be in terms of how much did I enjoy that film.
Right.
Is it anything like the game? Well, they've got the same names, and that's about. Like,
that's it.
They fight each other. They fight each other, and they have the same names. But everyone gives it. We'll save it all for next week. Everyone gives it so. Everyone has got their heart in this film. I cannot say that about what we just watched this week.
Fucking asshole.
They had heart.
They fly to England and do bad things to you.
Kate Beckinsale was thinking, which holiday should I take with this paycheck? Which one?
Yeah, right.
I've been looking at the Bahamas or Thailand. Australia's looking good this time of year.
Fucking scumbag.
You know what's crazy? If Quinn was single, I think he would have a shot with Kate Beckinsale.
Okay, she goes for my type,
God.
dude.
She goes for skinny, fucking
skinny. You're too sweet.
Oh,
you put on some weight lately?
Oh, brother, I'm 180 pounds.
Yeah, it used to be. You used to be like 140.
Yeah, pretty much.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ, dude! I could throw you like a fucking lawn dart. I can't remember last time I weighed myself. I've got to be over.
How tall are
300.
you again, Craig? 5'9"?
I'm 5'8". Thank you.
5'8". My name is Michael Caine.
And I'm 5'8". You stupid little.
No, you're
bugger.
6'5". You probably could toss me.
You dirty little fuck.
Join a midget
Yeah,
tossing
dirty
competition.
fucking little dirty fuck.
Dirty.
Oh,
Mortal Kombat, though.
dude, I was dying when
Mortal
Craig. I sent Craig the link to that video of Michael Caine's death that I put together on the channel, and he started dying when I put in the Michael Caine from Get Carter. And he's
God, he opens the door. It's just that.
And he's just
dramatic.
he opens his face though. He's like,
yeah.
He looks so angry.
It was the effort and the timing of it, because you did it as soon as it hits that note. The door, like he slams it open, but it doesn't slam. I don't know how he does it. He just go bang, and it freezes. It's just like doesn't slam. It freezes in midair. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think when it gets to my turn, I'm gonna do something. I'm probably gonna make like an old school pick. We need to watch like an old school movie.
How old?
Like
school,
how old school?
I'm talking like maybe 1960s, 70s, something
down
like
with that.
I'm down with that, man. Dude, during the pandemic, I remember going through watching some of the old classics. I refused to watch Citizen Kane because I've seen so many clips of it. That is not no matter what happens that I have not seen, because all I've seen is like the best bits. That is not the best movie ever. I don't care what I have missed. There's nothing in between that makes that the best movie ever. But watch 12 Angry Men, like the courtroom.
Oh, that's a great movie.
That's a fucking fantastic.
That's still a great movie, man.
Properly enjoyed that.
That's a good pick.
1957. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a really old movie.
It really is. You know, well, suppose what if that happened? Just suppose. You know, it's like how Glenn Quagmire talks on Family Guy. You know, proper. Hey there, you're talking to me. Hey, Sparky. Hey, yeah. What about this? It's like it's in the.
When you were walking down the street the other day, I got you a soda pop, kid.
Yeah, I got you a soda pop. Now I'm a priest, and now you gotta come back to the convent with me.
Everybody back
I'm gonna
then.
pass you around like a little rag toy.
There's something about that age where every American sounded like they were trying to sell you something.
Well, yeah, that's what it was. It was because of the commercials. Hey, you choose our heating little systems. You choose our heating systems. They're the best system for you. That's what you got. You get that. You gotta get the best.
That's what you got.
Craig, I don't know what's going on with his accent there, but it's like morphing into like a Cajun backwater guy who's like, "Hey, I got these crawfish here on a tray. You want to buy some? Come get them off the tray." Hey.
Sorry, let's hear your Michael Caine accent again.
My Michael Caine accent is shit.
This is pretty good.
So yeah, Mortal Kombat.
Because I am Michael Caine.
Yeah, that is the only thing you can say in that accent that actually impresses me, boy.
I'm not saying it was a bad accent. I said it. I just said it morphed from like
it
morphed from like Massey into hey Baba Booba, hey Baba Booba. I got an alligator on the back alley with my Sally.
I know exactly. You know what I mean. I know.
You sounded like Bobby Boucher in Waterboy.
Yeah, my name is Bobby Boucher. Can I talk to Captain Insano? Captain Insano's not here. Okay, can I talk to Captain Quintano?
Yeah. Well, we're getting ready to wrap this up.
We will watch Mortal Kombat because you know what, this film is fun.
I can't wait for it.
Heart into it.
I can't wait for it. I'm super excited for this because I know it's going to be bad and fucking amazing at the same time.
This is this is the first film that actually we said, because I know you had.
It was one of the first
too.
ideas that Brian and you guys had came up with.
Yeah, I know Brian automatically had Gladiator 2 in his head. Like, he didn't tell us that. He said it, and I was like, okay, cool, let's go with that. But this was like the first, like you said, good film. What's a good film and a bad film? And I thought, fuck, that's it. This film.
Mortal Kombat's a good film?
No. But it's fun.
No, but yes. Yeah.
Right,
actually, that was better.
No, here's
a fun time.
The answer is yes. This is the question. Is Mortal Kombat a good film or a bad film? The answer is yes.
There you go. Because there's not a wrong answer there.
The CGI on this is Quentin just a
Oh, this is 1990s CGI also.
This is 1995. Just as right. The CGI is worse in this.
I'm expecting ice cubes being thrown.
But the ice to be thrown, do you say?
Yeah, like
Sub-Zero. Yes.
And then they're just throwing ice cubes. Like, that's what I'm picturing. I missed out on watching this movie last year. We do this thing called Sausage Fest where, like, we get together with a bunch of the guys.
I bet you do.
We'll play video games. No, we just play video games and we hang out. We watch old movies and shit. But I missed out. They actually all watched Mortal Kombat one night. And I went to sleep.
Did P. Diddy put it on and then you all went to sleep?
He did. It was actually an Epstein Diddy party. It was a combo party. It was pretty crazy.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Was there cameras on the wall and stuff like that?
Guys, stop. Enough. Not the.
All right, gentlemen.
Fucking hell.
Is it that time?
It's about time to wrap it up. Yeah.
We've done our reviews. We know what's coming next, and I cannot actually wait to talk to, because I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Giggity. I don't know what's your reaction is going to be. I'm really looking forward to it because.
Quinn, have you ever seen it?
I've seen it probably when I was super young, and then I remember me and you went to go see that.
The new one, and we walked out after like 45 minutes.
The first 10 minutes were dope, and then it was like, what the fuck is going on?
Oh, what? When it was in ancient Japan, it was good.
Yeah.
It had
what's his name?
Hiroyuki Sanada, our boy from Shogun, which is, god damn it, Shogun, best film of last year. Best show.
TV show. Year. I still gotta watch it. It's in Japanese or no?
Both. Yeah. Yes. The answer is yes. It's so when one of the main character is English. He speaks English. He's got a translator. But when the Japanese people speak to each other, it's in time appropriate Japanese with subtitles. So
Gotcha.
it's like an immersive thing. Oh my god! I can't believe how good that show was.
I gotta check it out. But all right, gentlemen.
All right. Well, that concludes our session here. So, Craig, did you want to add one last thing?
Yeah, that concludes how little there was to talk about Van Helsing.
I mean,
it was fun. I would never tell anyone to turn it off, but I would never recommend it. Does anyone have anything to top that?
I just love it. I think it's a really fun film.
Quentin loves it, and he's going to kill us as soon as we end this.
Well,
it's okay. I understand that it's like an actual shit movie. I just love it. And it's like, if I didn't watch this as a
nothing
kid,
wrong with that.
And I came to this movie at my age now and I tried to throw it on, I'd probably be like, what the fuck am I watching? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But no, it's
that's nostalgia.
Yeah.
And there's no wrong with that.
Yeah. But I do see the flaws. I know that they're there.
If I watch Mortal Kombat this week for the first time ever, I'll be like, why?
Mortal Kombat, I think, is going to be a lot of fun to review.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
it is.
That's what I got for that.
It's going to be so fun and so bad and so great all at once. It's just, I Oh, I can't wait.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be 3 rounds of good critic, bad critic. All 3 of us.
There's there's going to be some like fucking. That's what I didn't see. This one I was like trying to think about scenes that like we could go over like, and this one I was like,
there's not really. Even I was finding trouble.
Even it like there was nothing even like even the bad stuff like wasn't memorable for me, you know.
Oh, I can think of the fight with
very
Goro.
fast paced. Like there wasn't a moment to catch your breath and think about it.
I also felt like the movie was 30 minutes too long.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. I can immediately think of the fight with Goro, the fight with Scorpion in the woods that then turns into hell for some reason.
Oh, I was still talking about Van Helsing.
Oh no, I'm talking about next week. I'm saying I could just list.
Oh, this there's tons of shit I remember from this already. Yeah,
Kano where he sat eating a turkey leg. Well, I could talk about that.
Didn't Kano have like an Australian accent?
He did, yeah. I always feel my lines. Yeah, this film is fucking stupid as fuck.
Take your best shot at me, babe.
The fact that they've got a guy who's supposed to be Steven Spielberg, come on, and he's got the little bullhorn, like director's bullhorn, shouting at him as the crazy film is fucking.
Oh, dude,
I love it.
I'm excited for it.
I can't wait to see Johnny Cage again. Down the road after we do this one, like somewhere like next year, we should do the second one. Have you ever seen the second Mortal Kombat?
Not the second one.
No, because there's gonna be bad critics.
He almost died.
Holy shit!
It's gonna be bad critic, worst critic.
Holy fuck, critic!
See you next Tuesday, critic. That is what that film will be. It's not going to be good critic, bad critic. And you know what? I might be at some point. I'll be all 3 of those in that reaction because someday you will die.
Will die.
That is a line from the film at the start of the film.
Yeah,
that film is trash. Hot trash.
I'm excited, man. It'll be fun.
This film has got Highlander in it. It's got Chris Lambert in it.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's conclude this, and thank you to everybody who tuned in. Van Helsing, you got 2 non-recommends and 1 highly recommend.
I didn't. It's a great time. Watch it. I highly recommend it.
Dude, it's one of your favorite
movies. Highly
movies.
recommend.
See, there you go. And
there you go.
Hey, if there's one reason to watch it for me, it's Kate Beckinsale. So for all the fellas out there who love
Hugh Jackman,
Kate Beckinsale, or all the ladies out there who love Hugh Jackman, or all the men who love Hugh Jackman and the ladies who love Kate Beckinsale.
You know what? I don't think straightness has anything to do with that.
No,
I
2 beautiful people.
You can be straight. I will watch a movie for Hugh Jackman, and I know plenty of women who go, "Oh yeah, well I'm not gay, but go gay for her." I've heard shit like that before, so I'm sure there's plenty of Kate Beckinsale's little army out there.
Yeah,
but no, I don't not watch it because of us.
Exactly.
There you go. That is.
If action adventure is your type of movie with no true like groundbreaking plot, give it a shot. It's fun. That's it, man.
Yeah, exactly. All right, good critic, bad critic, King Boomer, Captain Quintano, and Craig. We are all out of here, and we will see you next week for Mortal Kombat. All right, peace out.
Peace out, guys.
No, it won't flag that. We're good. All right.
I will want to play guitar.
Later, guys.
I doubt it, but anyway. Later. Peace out, everybody.
Till next week.